So today I want us to focus on accepting that our mind is allowed to be noisy in meditation. From the beginning, I want you to hear the voice in your head, and I want you to do nothing to stop it. This is one of the dangers in how meditation has been stereotyped, and that we're trying to quiet our mind, is that we start to think that the mind is bad and therefore we're shushing the mind. But we are actually intending to do the opposite. That is, your mind should be as loud as it wants to be when you meditate. The truth is, over time, it will get quieter. Why will it get quieter? Because it will be heard. And when you're heard, you don't have to speak as much. You don't have to scream if you know people are right there next to you listening. So the mind will get quieter, but it will only get quieter because you allow it to speak. So we're going to focus in on the breath. In, out, we really feel that, but I want us to open our experience to allow the mind to talk. And it's just a sound, or it can be a picture if you want to focus on that part of the mind. So we breathe in and we hear the mind. We breathe out and we hear the mind. The mind is sound and picture. So we hear sounds and color, see colors. We're hearing the mind. We aren't believing the mind. We aren't getting lost in the mind story. We're just noticing, oh, there's sounds in the head. At first, we want to work with this almost like it's a stranger at the far end of the bus. They're just babbling away, but we don't want to be annoyed by it. We don't want to tell them to go shut up, but we also don't need to get lost in their story. We can just be like, oh yeah, there's this sound in the back of the bus. There's this sound in our head. First, that might be hard. They might be telling a story that's really compelling and it keeps drawing your attention. So the same thing with your mind. At first, what we are doing is letting go of the stories that are being said and just hearing the sound. If the mind is super quiet right now because you're paying attention to it, that's fine. Just enjoy the quiet. But you are leaving a space for it to speak when it wants to. So in, we hear the mind, out, we hear the mind. In, we hear the mind, out, we hear the mind. As we're breathing in, we're noticing the body, the breath in the body, and we're hearing the mind. As we breathe out, we're noticing the breath in the body, and we hear the mind. Ideally, focus on some part of the breath that feels pleasant or at least peaceful. So we're going to go through the body breathing, but we're going to stay in touch with the mind the whole time. So what we're practicing here is being in safety and relaxation while the mind is being experienced. So as we breathe in, we will notice the energy of expansion. And as we breathe out, we'll notice the relaxation in the body. And we'll hear the mind. So we'll start with the forehead. As you breathe in, you feel the forehead. You breathe out, you let it relax. You hear the mind. Can you feel relaxation in the forehead? Just it doesn't have to be perfectly relaxed, just a sense of spreading or letting go, like a fist slowly opening. Just notice if the mind is commenting on this or commenting on the practice. And so we move into the eyes. We breathe in and we breathe out. And as we breathe out, we let the eyes relax. They fall back in the head, they spread. The eyebrows spread. As we breathe in and out, we notice the mind. We allow the mind to keep speaking as a sound. It's just whenever it wants to talk, it's allowed to. It doesn't stop us from feeling the relaxation. Just because the mind is babbling away doesn't mean that the relaxation has to stop. We move down into the mouth and jaw area, the lips and the jaw, maybe the back of the throat. As we get into this area, there's more possibility for emotion in these parts of the body. So we do the same thing with the emotion that we're doing with the mind. We just allow it to be there as we invite relaxation into the body. We're not shutting any emotions down. We don't have to feel perfectly relaxed. What we are doing is removing any effort to control. That is going to increase relaxation. Every time we breathe out, we're dropping a little deeper, sinking a little deeper into the ground. As we move into the throat and the back of the neck, just notice the mind is allowed to keep talking. The emotions are allowed to keep flowing. We just let relaxation happen, whatever amount is available. Move into the shoulders and the clavicle area. We breathe in, we breathe out, and you let it sink a little deeper. In. Ah. The essence of relaxation is letting go of control. So that might mean that you can't, that some part doesn't feel totally relaxed. So you got to let go of controlling of that. You just let that part not feel relaxed. That is itself encouraging of relaxation. This is practicing listening to our body. Move down the arms, down the biceps, triceps, crook of the arm, down the forearm, down the wrists, the hands, all the way out to the tips of each finger. Letting our arms hang, letting our hands be heavy. And allowing the mind to keep on trucking. We'll move into the chest area, the sternum, across the breast, around all the way around to the back of the spine. We're breathing in and breathing out and letting it relax. Again, a lot of emotion can be held in this area of the body, so we're not in any way trying to stop the emotion, even if it doesn't feel relaxed. We're just letting what will fall away, and letting everything else happen how it wants to. Let the mind keep babbling, we let the emotions keep being there, throbbing, flowing, constricting. But we notice that the breath comes in and the breath goes out, and when it goes out, the body relaxes a little bit. Move into the solar plexus area, breathe in, you breathe out. Let the mind keep babbling, pictures keep flowing, emotions keep arising. We move into the belly, surface of the belly, and into the guts of the belly, just noticing there's a lot going on down here, emotional and otherwise. And we don't try to force the whole thing to relax. We just let whatever is relaxing to relax, and notice that. We are turning our attention to relaxation while allowing everything else to happen. Down into the lower belly, the groin region, the inner thighs, the butt. Breathing in, allowing it all to fall away. At this point, you can almost feel like when you let go, it's just things are dropping into the ground and disappearing. You don't forget to just let the mind keep talking. That's the sound on the bus. It's okay if some part of your body is really tense or very emotional, you just let that be. We're not trying to change anything. Just notice, does that bring up more in the mind? Just hear the mind. It's safe to think, it's safe to feel here. Allow the relaxation now to flow all the way down the legs, into the thighs. And there can be emotion here too, though it's less common. down into the calves and the ankles, the feet and the toes. Okay, so we'll stop there. You can sort of give your body a little pat down. You can let your body start to move. Again, you're sort of trying to encourage the nervous system to know that you're safe to do this. That is to allow your mind to talk, to allow your feelings to flow without you having to act on them, without you having to engage in them. That it's okay to be still for a while without reacting. And I'm just going to get up and do a couple steps and then I will come on back.